My child, stop scrolling. This is not just another video. This is your lifeline. I brought you here on purpose because I saw what no one else did. I saw the silent breaking inside you, the smile you wore to hide the storm, the prayers you whispered, wondering if I was even listening. I was. I am. And now I'm speaking directly to you, because time is running out. The weight you're carrying, the fear you've normalized, the pain you've buried, I am about to confront it all. But you must stay, because in the next few moments, you will hear a truth that could rewrite your entire future. Don't look away. Don't delay. What you do with this word will determine what I do next in your life. You asked for a sign. This is it. Child, hear me now. I'm not arriving late. I am moving right now. What you feared would break you has only activated heaven's response. I was never behind schedule. I was waiting for you to release control, to allow me to work beyond your comprehension. The moment you surrendered control over every outcome, I took over. You cried out for relief, and I answered with rescue, but not in the form you expected. I set my plans hidden within moments, people, and decisions you nearly overlooked. Don't ignore these details. Within the small things, I've concealed evidence of my presence. Even the restlessness you feel is me nudging you toward what I have orchestrated. I'm not asking you to figure it all out. I'm asking you to trust that I already have. The shift begins the moment you believe I moved when you prayed. Not a single cry of yours went unnoticed, even when your voice shook and your spirit was too weary to speak. Your heart shouted louder than words ever could. Heaven does not wait for loudness. It moves at the sound of surrender. That's what I heard, and that's why this very hour is sacred. You stand on the edge of something only I could design. Look around. Things are aligning now because my movement was never in doubt. You asked, and I answered. Now I'm revealing how deeply involved I've been, from the first step to the next breakthrough. Keep watching, for the helper I send is already near. Before your words formed on your tongue, before your heart even shaped the plea, I had already caught the sound of your brokenness and translated it into action. That silent desperation you buried inside, trying to appear strong while crumbling within, I heard that. I saw the smiles you wore to avoid questions, while inside you screamed for intervention. You must understand this urgently. You never needed perfect prayers for me to respond. You only needed honest pain. And child, your pain reached me. The spaces you thought were empty were actually powerful invitations for my intervention. That quiet ache, those stifled sobs, the restless pacing, each was louder in heaven than you could imagine. You believed you suffered alone, but I stood with you, speaking to you in ways your fear tried to silence. You didn't need to explain your anguish for me to start solving it. I knew what you needed before you even realized it. That's why the helper is not arriving later. They're already being drawn into your orbit, because I know precisely how to match you with what will bring your healing. This is no coincidence. Your unanswered fears were not ignored. They were intercepted and redirected into my hands. I respond not only to prayers shouted from mountaintops, but also to tears fallen in silence. That's why what comes next is so personal, because I know what you didn't even know how to ask for. And that helper, they are not arriving by chance. They are sent on assignment, bearing the antidote to your silent cries. My answer is wrapped in understanding, clothed in peace, and filled with insight into the pain you never voiced. Be alert, for I am moving faster than your mind can follow. Listen carefully, because this is not the time to doubt what your spirit already senses. Heaven has not gone quiet on you. Even in the stillness where you believed you were forgotten, I was orchestrating movement in unseen dimensions. I never went silent, I went strategic. You looked for me in thunder and fire, but I have been whispering between your fears. The silence was not abandonment. It was alignment because the answer I'm sending required precise positioning, not just for you, but for those carrying the instructions to elevate you from this. You keep wondering why certain voices faded, why familiar places felt strange, why your heart no longer fits where it once did. It's because your surroundings had to make room for my divine reinforcement. I removed what would interfere with what I'm sending. The answer coming doesn't come with confusion, compromise, or delay. It comes with certainty, clarity, and perfect timing. I didn't just send anything. I dispatched something exact. Someone is coming, anointed by my spirit, seasoned by fire, and clothed in insight that echoes my voice. You've tried to survive in isolation, but I'm ending the drought with a divine partnership sharing heaven's heartbeat. And child, I need you to take this seriously. This isn't just another person entering your life. This is a carrier of destiny sent to awaken parts of you forgot existed. They don't come to fix you, they come to unlock you. Stop thinking I've ignored you. While you waited for noise, I sent a whisper that will change everything. This answer doesn't arrive with fireworks, but with favor. Their words will sound like the confirmation you never voiced. Their presence will bring the focus you couldn't create alone. You won't have to chase, convince, or doubt it, because what I send, I also affirm. Let me say it again. I have dispatched an answer. When it knocks, do not hesitate to open. Do not delay with fear, and do not retreat to what you've outgrown. This is the fulfillment of the promise I made in your dark hour. I would never leave you comfortless, and I have not. This is your helper. Watch for their arrival. Watch with discernment, not desperation. When they speak, listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit, because I will speak through them, with revelation designed specifically for you. The weariness you carry was never meant to be borne alone. The battle you fought in secret has drawn divine attention, not only from me, but from the one I've chosen to walk beside you through this. I have seen you try to endure the storm alone, thinking you had to be strong for everyone, while no one stood strong for you. It ends now. You were never meant to carry your calling's weight in isolation. That's why, with urgency, I am sending someone, not just anyone, but someone who does not bring mere comfort, but carries the power of my spirit resting on them. You don't need another sympathizer. You need someone who truly recognizes you. I have raised this one in silence, in their own wilderness, so their scars speak your language. The bond will not be built on similarity, but on spiritual synergy. What they bring is not advice but anointing. You will know them not by appearance, but by impact. The atmosphere will respond to their presence because they carry the breath of my spirit. They've passed through fire to obtain the oil they now carry, and that oil will be poured over your situation, not to pacify, but to shatter it wide open. I am not sending a helper to merely observe your pain. I'm sending a bearer of glory who will activate the healing I began in you. You have endured too much to settle for shallow connections, so I'm sending a depth you've never experienced before. They come with revelation and rest. They won't exhaust or confuse you. They will help release what's been locked inside for too long. Understand this. This is no accident. I have chosen this helper carefully, refined through fire, hidden places, and now sent to you at the exact moment you were ready to give up. Don't look for flashy signs. Look for fruit. Their arrival brings breakthrough, not breakdown. Your soul will feel a peace that doesn't make sense. When that peace falls on you, don't question it. Receive it. This helper doesn't come to replace me, but to represent me. Their presence will reflect my love, a reminder that I've always been your defender, even when no one else stood by your side. Stop entertaining the lie that you're forgotten. This is your confirmation. You are seen and protected by a force greater than what opposes you. Help is coming, and it is not empty-handed. They bring instruction, strategy, encouragement, and presence. But you must be ready, not only to receive help, but to be honest. This helper cannot assist who you pretend to be. They only connect with who you truly are. I am removing the burden of isolation. No more silent struggles. No more battles fought alone without reinforcements. You were never forsaken, not even for a second. Now what I ordained is about to be revealed. Watch the door. Watch your spirit. Watch the wind shift, because my spirit is not only falling on you, it's coming through the one I appointed to lift you. This is no ordinary support. I need you to recognize this before you miss what I'm doing. The one I send won't offer mere opinions or worldly solutions, but divine wisdom born from my presence. They speak not only from experience, but from communion with me. This helper has heard me in silence, walked with me through storms, spoken, and carries truths beyond human understanding. What they bring is not secondhand insight or borrowed words. It's revelation straight from the throne room. You've had enough advice that confused you, voices that misled, and distractions disguised as direction. That ends now. What's coming is holy clarity, so sharp, so direct, so aligned with my spirit, you won't question if it's from me. It will cut through doubt, shake you out of indecision, expose what must be removed and confirm what must remain. And child, hear me urgently. Prepare your heart, because this helper's words won't cater to comfort, but will call you into destiny. They won't shy away from truth. They won't dilute what I say. When they speak, it will be like rain on dry soil, sudden, gentle, yet undeniably life-giving. Remember, wisdom doesn't always sound like agreement. You've heard echoes for too long. Now I'm sending a voice that says what must be said, not what you want to hear. A voice that doesn't flatter but frees. A voice that confronts every lie you've accepted as truth. This helper has prayed for you long before meeting you. They've seen enemies you didn't know existed. They've stood on the edge of their breaking point, so that when they see yours, they'll know exactly what to say and do. This wisdom will realign you, stretch your faith, and unlock the next steps without confusion. But you must understand, it won't come loudly. It will carry weight, a spiritual weight commanding attention without demanding it. The wisdom they bring will be wrapped in stillness, but strike like thunder in your soul. And when your heart leaps for no clear reason, that's how you'll know it's me speaking through them. I don't send words merely to comfort, I send truth to transform. That is what this helper carries. When you hear it, do not delay with doubt. Move with surrender, because how you receive their wisdom will determine how quickly your next season unfolds. You wait, woman of prayer, woman of wonder, woman of now. Wisdom is coming, not from books, not through endless searching, but through someone I have appointed. Someone living in the overflow of my spirit and walking in discernment the world cannot mimic. This is my direct answer to the confusion that paralyzed you. I am sending wisdom that doesn't waver, withhold, or miss. Stay open, stay grounded. When it comes, act like you've been waiting, because you have. Understand deeply and urgently. The waiting was not punishment, nor proof I ignored you. It was precision. I did not withhold answers to test your strength. I allowed time to prepare you for what I was preparing for you. The delay you resented was my divine strategy, protecting what is sacred. You wanted breakthrough on your schedule, but I was building a foundation strong enough to hold what I'm about to place in your hands. Had I answered too soon, what you longed for might have crushed you. My timing isn't bound by earthly calendars. It's governed by eternal coordination. While you anxiously waited for change, I arranged every detail behind the scenes so that my release wouldn't just bring relief, but transformation. Now the orchestration is nearly complete. What looked like stillness was alignment. What seemed stagnation was me shielding you from sabotage. You didn't see the traps I cleared. You didn't notice the assignments I canceled. But I kept you hidden until it was safe to move. I wasn't late. I was deliberate. I waited for the exact moment when hearts would soften, the enemy disarmed, and your faith ready to receive, not just the blessing, but the responsibility. That's why I say again, delay is not denial. If it were denial, I would have removed the desire from you. The hunger remained, even when nothing around supported it, because I kept the flame alive while lining the doors. And child, those doors aren't opening randomly. They open in rhythm with the helper I send. I couldn't send them until you learned to trust me in silence. If I had sent help while you still craved human validation, you'd misinterpret their purpose. But now, you're ready to recognize divine help when it arrives. You won't sabotage it with insecurity or delay it with doubt. You've been refined by patience. You've endured loneliness fire. Now you are equipped to steward what I place before you. Don't regret the years that felt lost. I redeem time and restore faster than you imagine. The helper I send is part of that restoration. They arrive not late, but exactly when the page turns. I don't just act in time, I author it. Stop watching the clock and start listening to my voice. I have not forgotten you. I have not skipped over your name. I've written you into this hour with intention. Everything once held back is now beginning to flow. You will look back and see that what seemed like delay was divine choreography. Trust me, I never waste a second. Now that the moment is ripe, everything will move swiftly, including your helper's arrival. Be ready. It seemed motionless on the surface, like your prayers fell flat. Every door remained shut no matter how hard you knocked. But child, while your eyes saw stillness, I was moving mountains you never knew existed. You thought your efforts went unnoticed, your cries unheard, your faith ineffective. But the absence of visible signs was because I worked in realms beyond your view. I was not ignoring you. I was protecting the precision of what I'm about to release. Do you see how carefully I moved things behind the scenes so you step into what's next without interference? The people who seem to avoid you, I remove them. The uncomfortable places, I let discomfort grow because you were never meant to settle there. Closed doors weren't rejection, they were redirection. It didn't feel like alignment, did it? It felt like confusion, silence, delay. Yet everything fell into place with divine accuracy. I shifted hearts so they would receive you correctly. I dismantled systems that would suffocate your calling. I moved puzzle pieces involving people you've never met, all to set up a strategic moment where my favor meets your obedience to birth what you could never create by striving. Every unanswered question, season of confusion, every why was a thread in a larger design. You saw fragments. I orchestrated the whole picture. That's why I say urgently, don't mistake silence for inactivity. In spirit, I worked relentlessly. While you wondered if anything changed, I ensured everything changed at the exact pace needed for maximum impact. The helper I'm sending is in alignment too. They have gone through their own process. Not late, not lost, just being shaped so your meeting won't bring confusion, but confirmation. Their delay was your protection. Their preparation was your prophecy. You thought you walked in circles. I drew a perfect circle around the enemy's plans, cutting off every path he tried to use. Nothing wasted, not pain, waiting, or confusion. I aligned it all. Now, when things unfold rapidly, you'll realize I was never still. I was hidden in the work, aligning the impossible to meet your obedience with manifestation. Soon, the shift you couldn't see will be the undeniable evidence. You wondered why I didn't answer sooner, why silence grew louder each day, why help didn't come when you desperately needed it. But child, I wasn't punishing you. I was purifying you. There were things that couldn't go with you into your next season. Not external things, but internal walls, hidden pride. You didn't see it, but I did. Pride isn't always arrogance. Sometimes it's the need to control, to always have the answer, to rely on your own strength, even when exhausted. That's why I let waiting stretch beyond comfort. I needed you to reach a point where surrender became your breath. It wasn't about proving to me. I already knew your heart. It was preparing your heart to finally receive what I've held in store. I couldn't send help while you believed you could fix everything. I couldn't release divine assistance while you wrestled with trusting me on your terms. I needed surrender to rise. Now it has. Everything is about to change. When you stopped striving and started yielding, I knew you were ready. You don't see the beauty I see in your surrender. It has unlocked things spirit cannot achieve through striving. Your tears, brokenness, and whispers of I can't were holy. Not weakness, they were Him. They tore down walls blocking my release. Now with urgency I say, help is coming. Not because you need it, but because you're ready to receive it. This helper comes not to rescue pride, but to partner with surrender. They won't fuel your fear of losing control. They will teach you to rest in my plan. I didn't want you to burn out being everyone's strength. I wanted you honest enough to say, I need you, Lord, and you did. That honesty shifted heaven. That surrender gave me permission to act. You had to be emptied before being filled with strategy. Now that you are, help is released, not as reward, but response to humility. I honor surrender. I respond to yielded hearts. Your letting go made way for an impartation so precise and timely it can only come from me. Stay yielded. What comes next isn't earned, it's entrusted. You've passed through fire, valleys, silence that echoed louder than noise. But this is the shift. This is when all descends, not by demand but by posture. You stopped resisting, unclenched your hands, dropped control's illusion. That was the key, child. It wasn't doing more, but releasing more. Now your spirit bowed. My answer pours like rain on dry soil. I waited for this alignment. You laid down your will. Let me strip false securities. Now that your heart rests in stillness, not striving, I can send what you need. The one I appointed, prepared, and set in motion to carry the next piece of my plan. This isn't just help. It's my answer in motion. Not just response to pain, fulfillment of prophecy. What comes is sacred. Not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. You won't miss it because your eyes now see through expectation, not anxiety. That's the shift, not in circumstance, but in your gaze. You stopped manufacturing breakthroughs with effort. You now make space for my power to move. You surrendered your timeline, stopped treating me as backup, and trusted me as source. That's why my answer comes with authority. No more temporary relief. No more half-hearted healing that fades under pressure. What I send is complete because your surrender was total. The helper I dispatch will recognize your readiness. They won't come to rescue the old you, but to walk with the healed you. They won't have to convince your worth. You believe it. They won't beg you to slow down. You understand purpose's pace. This helper isn't an emergency fix. They continue my movement in your life. Their gift matches what I placed inside you. Because you surrendered, the connection will be effortless. Surrender removes resistance, so my glory flows freely. I did not forget your cries. I waited until your heart stopped fighting me. Now my answer descends, not chaos, but clarity. Watch how swiftly things take shape. Watch doors once closed unlock without effort. It's not that things got easier, it's because you let go. In letting go, you made room for my will to manifest unhindered. Receive what comes with reverence. This is sacred. This is me, and I am moving now. You've expected someone, and yes, I am sending a vessel. But child, what I release is more than a figure. It's a divine atmosphere, a sacred mantle of direction, clarity, and spiritual precision. The helper comes in flesh, but carries a purpose beyond the natural. They walk with a weight of purpose unseen by natural eyes. This is not mere assistance, it is alignment embodied. They will not speak random words or bring shallow guidance. When they arrive, their presence will unsettle confusion, silence lingering distractions, and initiate decisions you lacked courage or understanding to make until now. The helper doesn't come to indulge emotions. They come to bring order. Their presence speaks before words. Their steps are ordered because they carry my word, not scripture recited, but revelation lived, fought for, wept over, and sealed in obedience. You are not getting another opinion. You are receiving direction. They bring comfort and command. Do not mistake their stillness for weakness. What they carry will pierce indecision and awaken your calling's dormant parts. Their presence is mine. They've been in the secret place, contended for clarity, waited until I said go. Now they enter your space, not just to assist, but to activate. Child, their hands may look empty, but they carry instructions to rebuild all you thought lost. They won't be loud, but undeniable. Their presence will feel like still waters amid chaos, not because of who they are, but who I am in them. You asked for a way forward. I answer through this presence and instruction. Don't seek fancy speech or stature. Look for fire wrapped in humility. Look for words sounding like mine. That's how you'll know. Your eyes will carry insight, not judgment. Your silence will hold answers you never knew you sought. When they enter your atmosphere, you'll feel a release you can't explain. Because it's not the person alone, but the weight of what I gave them to deliver. Do not resist them because they don't look as expected. I send answers disguised in obedience. The helper's presence will confront what must go and call forth what must rise. They won't fix everything, but will give you structure to walk into all I prepared. Their arrival marks the end of wandering and start of divine instruction. Listen closely. Every word they speak is saturated with my voice. I don't send them to be your solution. I send them to deliver mine. Child, don't miss what I'm doing by judging what I send. The helper won't arrive in the form you rehearsed in your expectations. They may lack fanfare or title, but carry peace. Not the peace the world copies. A weighty, holy stillness that silences chaos without words. You won't recognize them by dress, impressiveness, or knowledge. You'll know them because your spirit quiets the moment they enter. That's how I move, not in flash, but presence. Be spiritually aware so you don't overlook them seeking something familiar. They come without fanfare, but with favor. Their peace is born of intimacy with me. Your anxious thoughts will slow when they speak. You'll feel tension ease, even when they say nothing. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Their peace is saturated in authority. I gave it because they've trusted me through storms and silence. They carry what they fought for. They're not perfect, but purified. Your stillness won't make sense to your flesh, but your spirit will leap. You can't explain it, but can't ignore it. It's not familiarity, it's divine connection. Here's the urgency, child. Don't dismiss or disdain because it's different. I often send strength disguised as simplicity. This one won't compete but complete. Won't seek to be seen but to see you, truly see you. When they do, speak or simply sit, there will be peace. A peace that quiets hidden fears. A peace reminding you I was never far. A peace restoring my voice to your weary soul. That's how you'll know, not by appearances, but by my unmistakable presence in them. When that peace comes near, welcome it. Don't question or resist it. That's me answering through them. Hear me now with clarity because this moment is delicate. The answer I send won't look like your imagined solution. It will match the blueprint you built from desperation and past pain. So don't reject what feels unfamiliar. Don't close your spirit to what you've prayed for because it's not packaged as expected. I am God. I don't fit assumptions or boxes of human understanding. My ways are higher. My methods are strategic. My messengers often come in humble forms you might overlook. But child, I've always used the unexpected. I chose a manger over a palace, fishermen over scholars, ravens to feed prophets, burning bushes to call leaders. So why would my answer come predictably? The helper may not fit your story's image, but has been shaped for it. They may not use words you expected, but will speak to your situation's root. Their background may confuse you, but their process qualifies them in my eyes. That process refined them into a vessel strong enough for what you need. You seek recognition. I send revelation. You wait for familiarity. I orchestrate something better. Stretching your vision, raising your faith. Don't let familiarity filter what I do. Many miss miracles expecting drama, but I move in subtlety, speak through obedience, place answers in ordinary vessels to test your readiness for divine, not just impressive. When this helper enters and you feel unsure, pause. Don't dismiss. Ask me. Discern by my spirit, not your preferences. Within the unfamiliar might lie the word that breaks your cycle. Don't let externals disqualify what I internally appointed. This is your stretch point, your moment to trust me beyond understanding. Lean into me, not logic, and recognize the divine, even disguised. Don't push away help because it feels different. Different isn't wrong, it's often perfectly timed. Child, don't miss what's sent just because you expect more obvious. I move in mystery, hide purpose in unexpected places. This time, help comes wrapped in unfamiliar, not to confuse but grow you. Be ready, be open. Your answer may look nothing like imagined, but carry all you need. You spent so long knocking, pushing, striving, trying to force movement by your own strength. But beloved, what I do next won't demand force. It won't require breaking yourself to break through. That season is over. I open a door that responds not to effort, but alignment. It swings wide, not because you fought harder, but because you stood still in trust. You've been trained by struggle. Now I'll teach you grace's language. The helper won't make you chase answers. They walk with you into spaces unlocking effortlessly, because I've spoken to the door's hinges. They're commanded to open at your arrival. Understand, it won't feel familiar. It won't be a breakthrough drenched in exhaustion. You will be quietly sure. No need to convince or prove. This entrance carries peace, not pressure. My spirit has gone ahead, preparing places where you will be welcomed, not resisted. The one I send will recognize these openings. Confirm what your spirit knew but fear silenced. When you step through, no second guessing, no panic, no wonder if you belong. That's how you'll know it's from me. It comes with rest, not unrest. Welcomes, not warns. No need to shrink or stretch into someone you're not. It fits because I designed it for this version of you. Purified by waiting, tested in silence, elevated by obedience. You don't walk in to impress, you walk in to fulfill grace on your life. Your favor will speak louder than your name. The favor I placed on you will do the introduction. This isn't just opportunity, it's fulfillment. I'm opening a door not only to bless, but to reveal what I've built in you all along. This is a door of divine relevance. Because you surrendered, you no longer twist handles I never told you to touch. You're done forcing, done bleeding for doors not yours. Now see what grace leads to. It feels like air itself parts. Conversations happen at right moments. Hearts open without explanation. The helper will witness and help you discern wise, honorable steps. Don't miss this. I'm not just answering prayers. I'm guiding you into a door that welcomes with clarity. Stay in my timing. Stay close to my voice. What opens next can't be forced, even on your strongest day. It's surrender's result. Grace's manifestation. When it opens, don't hesitate. Step through boldly. It was always yours. There were times you tried to share your deep ache, but words failed. No language for your burden, and no one seemed to grasp it. You left conversations lonelier, frustrated that no one read your silent sorrow or battles behind your composure. But I saw it all, understood completely. Now, in perfect timing, I send someone who won't need endless explanations because they carry discernment, not judgment. The helper won't be confused by your pauses, overwhelmed by vulnerability, or put off by complexity. They are prepared to hear the unspoken, equipped to gather pieces hidden even from yourself. They look into your eyes and know, not intellectually, but by my spirit. This is more than empathy. It's supernatural understanding. They'll enter your world, feel what you couldn't express, and stand with you. Not by obligation, but assignment. I entrusted them with keys to unlock chambers of your heart, even you feared revisiting. You won't perform or pretend with them. You'll finally exhale where only tension lived. They won't fix you, but reflect the truth I whispered through your storms. You are not beyond restoration, too complicated to see or too lost to know. This is my gift. They endured their own valley, battled unseen wars, so they'll understand without details, because I wrote your burdens into their calling. You'll say less yet feel fully heard. Experience connection effortlessly. No need to justify feelings. Their compassion cuts through walls. They honor your process, never rush healing, yet still call you forward. This is a holy connection, beyond casual, straight to soul alignment. Trust me with this. They come not just to walk with you, but to witness what others ignored, value what others dismissed. Your silence never scared me. It won't scare them. I send someone with grace to stand in shadows you feared hiding in forever. When they speak or just stay present, you'll know I remembered every moment you felt invisible, tracked every tear you shed alone, planned this encounter long before you knew you needed it. So be ready. The helper won't need explanation. They carry my knowing. That's what you've been waiting for. There were seasons when you entered rooms like a shadow, unseen, unheard, bypassed. You spoke with grace, but your voice drowned in noise. You gave your best, but were received as average. You stayed faithful while others advanced, celebrated, remembered. Still, you stood wondering if anyone saw your burden, but I was watching. Saw your patience to stay planted when passed by. Noticed how you honored those who ignored you. No humility wasted. Now, beloved, I reverse what man overlooked. This next season is private restoration, public reversal. Those who disregarded your value will see what I elevate. Those who doubted your calling will witness clear confirmation. Not to shame anyone, because your assignment was never theirs to approve. Time for them to see I alone decide who's chosen. I raise you in purity, not pride. Honor what they never saw. The helper is part of that reversal. They'll recognize your worth and remind others silently. Their presence will shift how others see you, not by power, but alignment with my spirit. Their connection exposes blindness, not accusation, but revelation. What was hidden surfaces, not just pain, but purpose. I kept you covered because premature exposure invites attack. But now you're ready. No longer desperate for visibility, anchored in me, so I can bring you forth without fear of losing yourself in the spotlight. I will reveal my hand on you. You won't need to defend, explain, or retaliate against ignorance. I will do the revealing. Place you in positions no one thought yours. Release favor where you were rejected. Best part, you won't strive for it. It will come because I ordained it. This is not revenge, it's vindication. My justice wrapped in mercy, and it will be seen. You will be proof that being overlooked by man never means forgotten by God. So lift your head. The season of hiding ends. Now I make you visible. When I do, none will doubt it's my doing. You cried for escape, pleaded for relief, sought shortcuts. But what I'm doing in you cannot be bypassed. I refine, shape, deepen your roots in ways relief never could. The helper I send won't remove you from where I build your strength. They come to walk with you through it. You don't need rescue. You need companionship rooted in revelation. This person isn't your exit, but proof I'm with you in this season. They won't pull you out of fire, but fan faith's flame within it. Don't expect fixes or pressure's disappearance. They don't erase process, but encourage persistence with eyes on me. Their presence won't stop stretching, but lightens the load with wisdom, comfort, and reminders of my voice. When overwhelmed, you asked for someone to carry the weight. I send someone who carries it with grace alongside you. You wanted ease, but I gave a companion for growth's path. If I'd removed pressure too soon, gold would have stayed buried. Your pain produces something valuable. This helper sees it. They've walked their own path and won't belittle yours. They walk beside you, not ahead, not behind, aligned with what I do in your life. Help you discern my moves, not distract. Remind you you're not breaking, you're being built. When days feel heavy, their words and prayers shield your heaven's echo. This is more than support, spiritual alignment. They won't replace me. They point you back to me. I chose them because they know endurance. They won't be intimidated by struggle or impressed by strength. They're present, consistent, full of grace. A mirror of my commitment, a reminder you never walk transformation alone. Shift perspective. This isn't punishment, and the helper isn't escape. They are your sign that I'm with you through every high, low, and silent ache. Together, you move forward. Together, you grow. I don't remove the path. I strengthen your stride. You stood at your strength's edge, thinking this was the end. Silence, heartbreak, disappointment made you believe the promise died. You saw closed doors, unanswered prayers, delayed breakthroughs, and whispered, this must be the end. But child, hear me. What looked like an ending is the curtain rising on something greater than you imagine. You mistook stillness for closure when it was the calm before the shift. I allowed what felt like burial to plant you. Your breaking wasn't destruction but release. Now, when you feel there's nothing left, I step in to show I held it all along. The helper I send won't just confirm it's not over. They'll help you see it never really was. You weren't losing. You were being routed, not punished, prepared. That's why it felt like everything fell apart. I tore down fear-built walls and rebuilt on faith. The helper speaks to that tender place, not empty comfort, but clarity born of revelation. They help you see patterns woven behind the scenes. Remind you nothing was wasted. At night, you wanted to quit. I counted every tear. When you questioned worth, I stood closer. Every pain, every battle you thought would break you, I use as soil for your new beginning. Don't fear unfamiliar. Don't grieve closed doors. I close them to open new ones. You're not at the end. You stand at the start of something wholly unprecedented, unseen, not even by you. That's why this helper matters. They won't just walk with you. They'll see you as I see you. Recognize the oil from your pressing. Speak life where others spoke labels. Won't remind you of falls, but point to your rise. When they do, something awakens in you. The vision you buried stirs. The dream you gave up breathes again. Not by emotion, but because I declared resurrection. Where you thought it was over, I build the next chapter. Watch closely. What you feared would finish you is now your greatest testimony's foundation. You thought tears were wasted. Those sleepless nights, unanswered questions, private breakdowns, whispered why? Child, I collected every drop, no tear unnoticed. Each one captured, counted, turned into divine investment. Your sorrow was never silent in heaven. While you broke in secret, I planted power in your surrender soil. Now seeds formed by pain, prayers, pleading push through. What you wept becomes what you walk into. But you won't walk alone. The helper knows how to tend the soil you cried into. Won't trample where you bled. Will nurture with wisdom and care. a sign to help harvest your endurance's fruit. You may not see the full field yet, but breakthrough already grows underground. Those tears weren't just pain, they gave permission for intervention. You mourned uncertainty's seasons. Now I answer with clarity. This isn't random, not delayed success. It's divine timing meeting divine connection. The helper is trained to see what others missed, spot miracles sprouting where others see dust. Their words call forth what waits to rise. Their insight aligns with my restoration blueprint. But here's urgency. You can't enter harvest in despair. Shift from survival to expectation. Pain that birthed promise must make room for promise to flourish. The helper doesn't explain tears. They reveal the beauty grown. Yes, it will be emotional. Yes, catch you off guard, but don't shrink. Embrace the abundance I place before you. It may feel unfamiliar to receive after lack, risky to trust after loss, but trust anyway. Open your heart. Step into the field you watered with your soul. The helper won't grow fruit, but walks with you as it ripens, helps gather and protect it, reminds you tears weren't weakness, but faith's currency. This is what happens when pain meets purpose, perseverance meets promise. Heaven responds to brokenness with grace's harvest. You didn't cry in vain, you planted while bleeding. Now, beloved, it's time to reap with joy. A stirring begins before natural signs, a subtle, undeniable shift signaling alignment. It won't be loud, no thunder or lightning, but it presses against awareness like a breeze you can't explain. Stay alert, not to chaos, but to quiet invitation within. What comes requires spiritual sensitivity more than sight. You asked who I send, how to know when. My answer, listen to the whisper. I don't move in confusion, I move in precision. The helper carries a frequency only stillness can detect. If distracted by noise, you miss the signal. If rushing days without stillness, your soul misses spirit's cue. I've trained you in stillness, to sense presence when surroundings scream otherwise. I discipline your heart to recognize my moves quietly, so when divine connection enters, you won't hesitate, question, or resist. You'll just know, not mentally, but by inner peace. The helper's signature matches what I formed in you. I give confirmation, but only if you pay attention. My spirit gives the yes you need to trust. You'll feel a pull not emotional, but of deep recognition, as if your spirit awaited them even when your mind wasn't ready. Don't rush, don't assume, don't force connection. Stay close to me, grounded in my voice. That's where clarity comes. In my presence regularly, you won't miss what I bring. Won't be fooled by counterfeits or distracted by similar but breathless. Sensitivity to my spirit safeguards discernment. I don't ask you to figure this out. I ask you to remain yielded. Trust I will prompt you. Trust I will show alignment. When you feel inner confirmation, when your soul exhales without reason, that's the cue. You'll feel peace where pressure was, rest where once drained. Hear my voice clearer, not louder, but because you silenced noise. Don't underestimate what one still moment reveals. The helper is closer than you think. Your job is to stay sensitive. One whisper from me can change everything. There's danger in letting frustration drown faith, in using words to define what I still restore. You faced so much disappointment that labeling things broken became reflex. I urge you, guard your speech in this sacred moment. Don't curse what I breathe life into. What seems still is not dead. It's sacred process. You don't see resurrection beneath, but it happens. When Lazarus lay in the tomb, people said, "Too late." I said, "Come forth." When dry bones scattered, Ezekiel saw a graveyard. I told him to prophesy life. Now I tell you, speak life even when eyes see death. You called dreams dead, seasons wasted, influence gone. What you buried in despair, I revive in purpose. The helper I send partners with that resurrection. They carry words countering every lie you spoke over yourself. Remind you your voice creates alignment, not just expresses pain. That's why I convict you. Catch your tongue before it repeats defeat. The new thing in your life is too fragile for verbal sabotage. What you speak shapes how you steward. Child, you're in a holy turnaround. I'm not just fixing broken, I'm transforming. Transformation requires your agreement. Speak in step with me, not your wounds. Declare what I say, not what your fears dictate. When the helper begins to walk beside you, their presence will challenge your vocabulary. They will not allow you to diminish yourself. They will interrupt you when you speak words against yourself, words I never gave you. They will speak life into you until you learn to echo it. Together, you will rebuild what shame tried to bury. So be mindful. Life and death are in the power of your tongue. Right now, your words are either watering what I am reviving or weakening it. Choose life. Speak blessings. Prophesy over what you almost gave up on. This is the moment where miracles are born, not only through my touch, but through your agreement. I am resurrecting what you thought was beyond saving. Do not kill it again with disbelief. Let your words align with my movement. Let your tone match my timing. I have already begun the revival. Now speak like you believe it. You have cried out in confusion, asking which way to go, uncertain of your next step, paralyzed by too many options and not enough peace. You have walked through fog where every decision felt risky, every turn seemed uncertain, and again you questioned, Lord, what do you want from me? But I have not ignored your cry. I have been preparing an answer that comes not just in information but through impartation. I am not merely placing a map before you. I am sending someone who walks with the understanding of my heart and carries clarity that springs not from intellect but from intimacy with me. This helper I am bringing has spent time with me in the secret place. Because of that, they will move with a discernment that never falters. They do not come to tell you what to do. They come to help you recognize what I have already spoken to you, though fear and exhaustion have drowned it out. They will speak into your hesitation with words that cut through confusion as light breaks through night. Your wisdom will not be rehearsed. It will be timely. It will not be controlling. It will be confirming. And here's what I need you to grasp. This clarity will not arrive all at once. It will unfold through relationship, through conversation, through shared moments that feel like divine appointments. Because they are, I am weaving this into your journey so that you will look back and realize I have been guiding you all along. The answers will begin to rise within you, and the helper will have the language to unlock them. What once felt like chaos will begin to make sense. The timing, the delays, the exits, the shifts. You will begin to see how it was all set up for this intersection. You will no longer feel lost, not because every question is answered, but because peace will return. This helper is marked by that. They bring peace that silences torment, not a shallow calm, but a deep spiritual assurance that allows you to rest while moving forward. They will help you filter out noise masquerading as wisdom. They will point you back to my voice when you are tempted to follow your own logic. This is not about handing you instructions. It is about reminding you that I have already placed direction inside of you. It only needed stirring, confirmation, alignment. That is what they will do. They are not experts. They are instruments. I am using them as vessels of divine clarity, not so you depend on them, but so you remember how to depend on me. Their insight will always lead you back to the source. They will not take the wheel. They will walk beside you and help you interpret the signals I have been sending all along. And here's what you must do now. Create space to listen. Do not drown this answer in distraction. Do not push for quick fixes. Open your heart. Pay attention. Be willing to receive direction that stretches you beyond comfort, but pulls you into destiny. I am not leaving you stuck. I am not a guide of confusion, and this helper, They are proof that I have heard your cry. Direction is coming, and it carries my voice. You did not see it then, how the betrayal, opposition, false accusations, abandonment, and countless moments of resistance were all being used, shaped, and allowed with purpose. But now, as things begin to align, you will understand. Every enemy that rose against you was sharpening your discernment, stretching your capacity, and purifying your character so you could handle what I am about to place before you. They thought they were tearing you down, but they were clearing space around you. They tried to close doors, but their rejection forced you into rooms I had already designed for your growth. And now, as the helper I appointed steps into your life, you will see your heart is ready to receive them, not out of desperation, but with maturity. If I had sent this person in the wrong season, you might have clung to them as a rescuer instead of recognizing them as reinforcement. But now you know who you are. You have passed through enough fire to distinguish counterfeit connections from divine alignment. The adversity trained your spirit. It developed a sensitivity that cannot be faked. It taught you how to stand when no one applauded, how to remain when others walked away, and how to wait on me, even when it hurt. That is why this helper will not become a crutch. They will be confirmation. You will not idolize them. You will honor them, because your enemies taught you not to rely on flesh, but to depend on my spirit. That lesson, that sacred awareness, will keep you grounded as I elevate you. The same mouths that mocked your silence will now witness your strengthening. They cannot stop what I am doing because I use their opposition to align you with my voice. They unknowingly positioned you to distinguish the real from the false, the anointed from the man-appointed, the chosen from the charming. You can now spot deception because you have lived through it. You can recognize manipulation because you have broken free from it. You can trust this new connection because you have learned to test every spirit, weigh every word, and follow peace rather than approval. Child, do not despise what you endured. Honor it as preparation. Even the fiercest enemies were instruments in my hands. They thought they were stopping you. In truth, they were training you. And now you stand stronger, wiser, and more surrendered than ever before. This is the version of you who can steward the help I am sending. No longer seek validation from the wrong sources. Because of that, you will recognize what is real when I present it. Let this be your comfort. None of the pain was wasted. Every fight, every wound, every misunderstanding, I am using it all. And when you see the helper walk in with clarity, peace, and purpose, you will understand. Even the enemy played a part in delivering you to destiny. Watch what I do next. Watch how I turn your past battles into future blessings. The helper's arrival is not just an answer. It is evidence you have overcome what once tried to bury you. Now you are ready for what I have prepared. It will not be predictable. It will not follow your schedule. But when the time draws near and the helper I have chosen approaches, there will be an unmistakable stirring deep within you. Not emotional hype, not a passing feeling, but a spiritual awakening you cannot ignore. You may not understand why your atmosphere begins to shift. You may suddenly feel the urge to pray without knowing why, or find your heart being pulled in a new direction without explanation. This is how I prepare you. Before alignment happens in the natural, it begins in the unseen. In this stirring, your inner witness recognizes what's coming before your mind catches up. I alert your spirit so you are not caught off guard, so you are poised to discern rather than distracted by assumption. That stirring is your cue, your signal to draw near, become attentive to my whispers, and prepare for the divine intersection I have arranged. The helper is being positioned with precise timing, and your spirit is responding before your eyes see fulfillment. I will not let this moment pass without preparation. That restlessness you feel, that sudden desire for silence and space, that inner shift that is pulling you away from the familiar. It is not random, it is me. I am softening your heart, aligning your focus, making room for the one I have anointed to walk with you in this next phase. And here's what you must understand. The stirring is not about their arrival alone. It is about your readiness. I stir you so you do not miss what seems subtle but carries great power. I move you inwardly before outwardly. When the helper appears, it will feel like confirmation, not surprise. They will click. The peace you have longed for will come into full view. Conversations will feel timeless. Presence will feel like home. You will know I did this, not because of your striving, but because of your surrender. So do not ignore the stirring. Do not dismiss the discomfort as something to avoid. Lean in. Pay attention. It means you are close. It means the time is near. It means what I have been preparing in private is about to be revealed. Let your spirit stay awake. Let your ears stay tuned. You will sense them coming before you see them appear. And when they arrive, there will be no mistaking. This is the one I have sent. There will be no need to announce it. You will not have to guess, question, or analyze. When the one I have chosen walks into your life, the very air will feel different. The invisible weight you have carried will begin to lift. Peace will settle over you like a blanket waiting to wrap around your weary. It is the beginning of what I promised long ago. The helper I send is more than comfort. They are a sign. Their arrival marks the activation of fulfillment. When they enter your life, something within you will recall what seemed buried. They are part of the unfolding, part of the divine sequence orchestrated before time. Their presence will reignite hope, not by stirring emotions, but by confirming what I planted in your spirit. You will realize delays were not denials. They were timing. I had to prepare the ground, align seasons, ready vessels, you and them. Now that all is positioned, the promise moves. What you see next is legacy, not luck. It is me honoring my word. I watched you believe when nothing changed. I saw your faith when evidence was absent. I heard your declarations when circumstances mocked them. Now I respond, not only with answers but with manifestation. This helper carries more than encouragement. They carry threads of prophecy. The way they speak, love, listen, and move with my spirit will be undeniable. You will see glimpses of what I showed you in private. You will remember dreams that seemed too distant. In those moments of recognition, say aloud, "You did not forget, because I have not." Every seed sown in tears, every declaration written, every moment surrendered, I bring it into bloom. Do not fear how fast things shift. This is not random momentum. This is my faithfulness in motion. The helper is proof. They are not reminders of loss. They arrive to walk with you into restoration. This is fulfillment unfolding. Stay expectant, stay grateful, because what I said, I will do. And this is only the beginning. There are dreams you gave up, not because you didn't care, but because life made them feel impossible. You tucked them away quietly, convinced timing passed, opportunity expired, or you weren't qualified. Time, pain, disappointment tried to convince you those desires were immature, unrealistic, or too costly. But I never forgot them. I never asked you to abandon them. I asked you to trust me with their timing. Now I send someone who will speak to reawaken what you thought was dead. This helper will not hand you a dream, but spark those still alive. Through their words, insight, presence, conversations will deepen beyond surface encouragement. They will say things you did not realize, answered prayers you stopped praying. They will speak with clarity, and your spirit will feel the shift. A stillness where revelation rises, direction returns, and fire flickers anew. These moments will not feel ordinary. You may talk about something small, unrelated, and suddenly the tone shifts. You'll feel a jolt, not emotional, but spiritual. You will know you stepped into a conversation with divine fingerprints. These exchanges will not just inspire, they will awaken. They will resurrect ideas you thought discarded. They will bring up things unspoken, yet this helper will touch on them with uncanny accuracy, not from their own insight, but from my spirit guiding their voice. Do not dismiss this. Do not rationalize it away. These are orchestrated encounters. Embrace them. What I am reviving is not for your enjoyment alone. It is for my glory. Those dreams carry assignments. They were never meant to just inspire you. They were placed in you to impact the earth. I know the pain that made you bury them. I know the closed doors, failures, misunderstanding, and exhaustion from striving in your own strength. That's why I stepped in. That's why I send someone who does not push but pours truth into you. The kind of truth that clears dust from dormant vision. The kind that breaks chains of past disappointment. These divine conversations will be turning points. Moments that realign you with what I originally spoke over your life. When it happens, when your eyes light up again, your mind races with excitement, your hands prepare again, that's revival in progress. You won't have to force it. You won't fake passion. It will rise naturally, because truth spoken in love breathes life into tired bones. I appointed this helper not only to assist your now, but to activate what's asleep in your later. They see beyond the present. They speak to the future. You'll feel it in every word from my spirit through them. These conversations will carry weight, purpose, healing, and direction. They'll remind you I've never been done with your dreams, only preparing you to carry them rightly. Listen carefully. Write down what stirs your spirit or visit it in prayer. Let the fire return unapologetically. Let the vision live again. This time, it is not coming back to die. It is coming back to be fulfilled. I will finish what I started in you. Amen. Now, as you stand on the brink of this new season, know every step you took was part of my divine plan. I have been with you in silence, moving behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail. Even when you felt forgotten, I prepared you for what is ready now. This helper will bring not only assistance, but the weight of my presence. They are equipped to walk with you through challenges ahead, strengthen your faith, and remind you who you truly are in me. Their arrival will mark a turning point, a time when things shift in your favor. Doors once closed will open easily. Paths once uncertain will become clear. The breakthrough you awaited will no longer delay, but you must stay alert and ready. Don't let weariness dull your senses. Don't allow doubt to cloud your heart. Keep your eyes fixed on me. Listen closely for my spirit's whispers. The helper's presence will be unmistakable, even if quiet. You will recognize them by the peace they carry, the clarity they bring, and how they align with my heart for you. This is a sacred moment, a divine appointment prepared just for you. Embrace it with open hands and an expectant heart. Remember, you are not alone. I am always with you, and now I send reinforcement. Together, you and the helper will move into the fullness of what I promised. Trust my timing, trust my plan. Be ready to receive all I release. There were times the weight felt too heavy, the road endless, and your spirit ready to give up. But I was there, lifting you when you could not stand, holding you when strength failed. I worked when you could not see. Every delay, detour, and waiting moment was ordained in your journey. I was not silent. I was strategic, not absent. I was aligning. Now the moment has come. The helper I send is ready and near. They carry wisdom, compassion, and power to walk with you in this next phase. Their words will bring life. Their presence will calm. Their guidance will be sure. You will not fight alone anymore. I prepared this helper carefully, molding them through fire, testing their faith, filling them with Spirit's anointing. They are exactly who you need. Together, you will see long-awaited promises fulfilled. So stand firm in faith, stay open to what I do. Watch closely. When the helper arrives, welcome them with confidence that I have never left you. This is a new chapter. Breakthrough, restoration, and divine favor. You are ready. I am with you every step. The helper I send is not just an answer, but a manifestation of my faithfulness. They embody the hope planted deep in you, now coming to life. Their arrival ushers a season of renewed strength, fresh vision, and unstoppable momentum. You will find courage to face challenges once insurmountable, clarity to navigate once clouded paths, joy replacing long-held weariness. This is when faith is rewarded, patience honored, perseverance bears fruit. But remember, this helper is not here to do your work. They walk beside you, supporting, encouraging, equipping. Together, you will labor in fulfilling my plans for your life. Keep your heart open to their presence. Receive their counsel with humility and wisdom. Let their support strengthen your resolve and deepen trust in me. Above all, remain anchored in my love. Through that love, all things are possible. I have not forgotten you. I have not forsaken you. Now, I send the help you need at the perfect time. Prepare yourself, beloved. Great things lie ahead. Doubt may creep in. Old fears may whisper lies. The past may threaten to overshadow the future. But stand firm. I have equipped you to overcome. This helper is not just strength. They are a beacon of truth, reminding you who you are and whose you are. They will help you see yourself through my eyes. Beloved, chosen, called for such a time as this. When discouragement comes, they will lift your spirit. When confusion clouds your mind, they will bring clarity. When the journey feels lonely, they will be faithful companions. Do not shy from the support I send. Receive it with open hands and expectant heart. Let it refresh your soul and renew passion. This is not just help, it is divine reinforcement, a sacred partnership to carry you into your destiny's next season. Trust me, beloved. Trust the timing, process, and helper I send. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are deeply loved and equipped. Walk forward boldly, knowing I am with you always. There will be days when the road seems uncertain, shadows threaten your light. Remember, I have not abandoned you. I am working all things for your good, even when unseen. The helper I send is part of this work, a living reminder my promises never fail. They bring encouragement, wisdom, and strength tailored for you. Their presence brings peace to your restless heart and direction to wandering steps. With them beside you, burdens once carried alone grow lighter. Battles once overwhelming become victory opportunities. Dreams once lost begin to bloom again. Hold fast to faith. Keep eyes on me. Prepare to receive this divine gift with gratitude and joy. What I do next exceeds your imagination. I am with you always. I send help now. Step forward with confidence. Your breakthrough is here. This helper is sent not just to support, but to walk you into your purpose. They activate what lies dormant in you. They carry keys, unlocking new destiny levels. Their insight illuminates paths ahead, even when unclear. Their words inspire faith where doubt took root. Their presence is sanctuary for your weary soul. Do not fear the unknown. I have prepared the way. This helper meets you exactly where you are. They do not judge your past struggles or brokenness. They stand as a testament to my grace working through imperfection. Together you will rise above obstacles and fulfill your calling. My child, if this spoke to the very marrow of your soul, it's because I meant for it to. You were not drawn here by chance. This moment was written long ago. So don't let it end here. Every time you return, I have more to say. More healing, more instruction, more miracles waiting in the next message. Subscribe, stay connected, return often. Not for a voice, but for my voice through this place. This is your well in the wilderness, your divine lifeline. Share this message with someone who needs to hear me, because your obedience might be their deliverance. Together, we will break every chain. The restoration has only just begun. Come back, again and again. I'll be here waiting, always. Amen.